Hey everyone, I'm Allison.
I'm Bryce.
And we're Better Half Reviews. And today we are talking about Rolling Realms. So we're just going to give you a quick review, what we thought about the game. If you don't know, it's from Jamie Stegmaier, aka Stonemaier Games. The art is by Miles Bensky and Marius Petrescu. I hope I said that correctly.
Well, in Rolling Realms, you are competing to collect the most stars. And you're playing a series of mini games over 3 rounds. And at the end of 3 rounds, the person with the most stars and the most points wins.
So when you're playing this game, since it is a Stonemaier game, a lot of the realms that you can play in are based off of games that they have made. So there's Side, Euphoria, Tapestry, Wingspan, Between Two Cities, Pendulum, Between Two Castles, Charterstone, Viticulture, Red Rising. They call it the Society in this one, and it always makes me forget. My Little Scythe, and that's it. Well, there's more about that later. But anyway, so you would have different realms. Everybody will use the same 3 realms each round, and you roll these chunky dice that have little hexes for pips, which I love. So you roll dice, and you're going to use each number, try to use them on different realms, and score points or gain little pumpkins or hearts or coins and use them in different ways. And so you can keep track of your resources and keep track of your numbers and points. It's a roll and write, obviously. So all this is stuff that you can write on with dry erase markers. It comes with really good big fat markers and little eraser pads. So quality of the game, I thought it was pretty good for a roll and write, especially for cards that you're going to be writing on. Things erase pretty well, as long as you remember to erase everything.
I mean, we've played this multiple times, and I mean, besides having a little bit of dust on them, I can't tell that these have been written on before.
Mm-hmm. And I like that. So in some roll and write games, they give you little wimpy pencils or really wimpy dry erase markers. These are better quality. I feel like they're gonna last longer. So I feel like the quality of it is really good, and plus, I love these dice so much. And I like that it's Rolling Realms and that they made the dice kind of blue and green, like Earth, a realm.
Oh,
anyway,
I never thought about that.
Yeah. So I really like that they took we made all these different games and they make different themes for it, and they make sense with what the game is, based off of what the theme is. Yeah. We haven't played all of them, but from what I know about them, I'm oh yeah, that makes sense. That's cool.
Like Tapestry.
Yeah.
You, based on the number that you roll, you're gonna choose a shape, and then you're gonna
trying to
fill in this. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6x6 grid.
Kind of like the grid in Tapestry.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of like the grid in Tapestry.
Yeah.
Or in viticulture, you're filling in grapes and then using the grapes to
fill wine glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love that there's enough different realms that each game can feel different. Some you'll have different combinations of cards, and some cards are more numbers heavy. Some cards are more
resource heavy.
Yeah.
Some cards are very generous with resources, while other cards are not generous with resources at all, and it takes a lot to get resources out of them. And then the resources, you can use those to kind of modify dice rolls or be able to use one of the dice a third time, so it kind of can give you an advantage.
Yeah.
So
without the resources, this game would be eh. This really makes it because if you're stuck with certain numbers, you're you can try to mitigate it or add dice or use numbers on a realm twice when you usually can't in a round. One other thing I really like about this is that you can play this with people online. You can play this with people far away from you, as long as they have at least just a set of the cards. You can even print and play it kind of thing. I like that you can play this with any number of people any distance away from you.
My favorite thing about this game is that every round and every game is different. Like what we were saying earlier, you're gonna choose 3 cards, and then everybody's gonna play with those 3 cards during that round. In the next round, you're gonna have 3 more cards. In the final round, you're gonna have 3 other cards. And so every game is going to be different because you're not going to have the same combinations of cards.
And you're not even going to see necessarily all the cards in one game. There were some cards left over.
Right. There's cards left over that you won't see in that game, which you might use in another game. And yeah, I like that it's just so different every time you play.
And something else I'm really excited about is that the way that they've designed this game is it can kind of be an infinite roll and write, where they can add more and more realms.
Oh, yeah.
So they've already added, they've actually made a rolling realm card. And then there's also Terra Mystica. I think they're partners with people in Germany. So there's a Terra Mystica pack, and there's a Rolling Realms pack, and I think other people are jumping on with this. And I'm really excited to see what realms are coming in the future, because I'm like, I want to have like all these different varieties. So I think I'm going to wait till they have like 4 or 5 of them, then order them all. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so I really like that there's just infinite possibilities, and if more publishers jump on with this, I think that would be really cool to just have different options, and your games could be like, I would love to have like Everdell or something like that, or a West Kingdom game. But yeah, so anyway, I'm rambling. So do you have any negatives about the game?
So one of the biggest negatives for me is that there's not really a theme, in my opinion.
The theme is all of it.
Exactly. I mean, the theme is nothing, but it's everything, which is nothing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's abstracted.
It's abstracted. I don't know. I like roll and writes like Metro X or
Railroad Inc.
Railroad Inc. or Cartographers, where it kind of has a theme to it, and I feel like I'm kind of doing something. This is just very abstract. It's like, okay, where am I going to fill in this number on this card? Where am I going to fill in this number on this card?
Yeah. Okay.
Like, what dice rolls do I need? Not that that's a bad thing. Like I said, I really like this game because every game's going to be different, but I wish there was a little more theme.
Okay. Well, I feel like the theme is in the cards, but yeah, like you get more focused on like what you're doing and not like, oh, I'm playing between 2 cities. But if you think about it, you're like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, I get that. My maybe like a partial negative is like some combinations of cards don't really work very well together. But I feel like that's also just part of the challenge, where it's like, how can you get the most points? Where it's like some rounds may be harder than others, but if you're newer to games, this might feel a little bit overbearing. I taught someone who doesn't play too many games, and they were kind of done after one round. They enjoyed it, but they weren't ready to change out the cards and like do 3 different things. So this is a little bit more on the thinkier side for roll and writes. So I feel like Railroad Inc. is way easier compared to Rolling Realms, because there's a lot more going on and more options and layers of strategy to think of in this game because it changes up so much.
Yeah, because every round is different. I can see how it would be hard for like a new gamer that might not necessarily be thinking kind of strategically, or may not have all the background and the knowledge that most gamers have. That this will be more difficult to have 3 different distinct rounds. You might have to play it, with 3 cards a few times and then change it up or whatever.
And that's something that I do like, is like, if you want to play a short game, you just play a quick round and just be like, oh, okay, I got 14.2 points and you got like 12.
Well, yeah, and you don't have to play all 3 rounds, which is nice.
But so when you're playing this game, like for me, the struggles that I had at the beginning were keeping track of like what their different resources did and how best to utilize them. The more you play it, the more you can kind of be like, ooh, I can do this combination. And you can use multiple things in just even one round, like one roll of the dice. You can like use pumpkins to adjust the die, and then use coins to like add an extra die and other things. So the more you play it, the more you can kind of get the hang of how to use the different mitigation options. But yeah, so those are our thoughts about Rolling Realms. We both really liked the game. This one, I think it was in like within my top 20 games of last year that I played. I can't remember where it was for you.
I don't remember at all.
I can't remember exactly. It was somewhere,
It was in the top 50.
Yeah. So yeah, we did a top 50 list, so yeah. But yeah, so we both really liked it. It's really fun. I'm really excited to see what's coming in the future with it.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing the different realms.
And we didn't talk about the solo aspect. There is a solo game that you can play, and it's kind of like they made it like a little mini golf thing. I haven't actually tried this yet, but I've heard that it's a lot of fun and super challenging. We should probably try it sometime.
Yeah. But we shouldn't try it together because it's solo.
Yeah. But there's enough cards that you can probably do. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, Rolling Realms, I really like it. I definitely recommend it if you like roll and writes and if you want something a little bit more thinky and like puzzly, strategic. It's definitely one to go for.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it. Just like Allison said, if you like roll and writes, this is gonna have a lot of replayability. Mm-hmm. So go ahead and pick it up.
And get the promo packs. I want them too. All right. I'm Allison.
I'm Bryce, and we're Better Half Reviews.
Happy gaming.
Have fun.
I got them.